All right, we're gonna fade in to a video of me in 3, 2, 1. Good morning, good afternoon. It's afternoon right now in Kansas City, and good whatever time it is. Welcome to another episode of Trevantine, the podcast in which you get to hear the thoughts, feelings, and emotions of an 18-year-old senior in high school being affected by the coronavirus. So we already covered spring sports. We already covered many fall or spring activities like a DECA debate. Just other programs that are getting canceled. But there's one season particularly that hits really close to heart, and that is the season of men's volleyball. For Liberty North High School, this would have been the first year that we had men's volleyball as a club, as a team, and just an outlet and ability to go play. But sadly, we only had one practice until our season got cut short. So on a Zoom call with me, I have several members of the Liberty North men's volleyball team in here. So let's get them in here. So would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Michael Schwam. I'm a junior at Liberty North High School.
Hi, I'm Justin Scott. I'm a sophomore at Liberty North High School and 10 times better at volleyball than John.
Oh, snap. Hello,
I'm not even hurt though.
Hello, I'm Jack Kankowitz. I'm also a junior at Liberty North High School.
Yeah, I'm Cola Masters, a junior at Liberty North as well.
I'm Ben Swoboda. I'm a senior at Liberty North.
So, does someone want to explain what happened, the scenario in which we are not allowed to have our season anymore?
I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody knows we're not really allowed to have big group gatherings, so all sports are pretty much halted, and that includes clubs such as ours.
Yeah, we knew that we were just going to draw out a big fan base, so the district was like, no, you can't have more than people there. So, I mean, they knew that we were going to draw out a lot of fans, so they right away they were like, nope, sorry, no volleyball.
It's going to be like the All-Star game.
It was going to be like the All-Star game.
I had an idea that was probably going to happen. I mean, I wasn't even in the group, mainly because I totally realized I didn't have it downloaded, but I had a feeling it was going to happen.
So our first practice, right? I remember one person in particular, he may be in this call, joked a lot about not having a season because of Corona. Joking
I think I know that guy.
I seem to recall this.
Yeah, joking about that. How does it feel now that we don't have this actual season?
I was pretty much prepared for it. I mean, when you got top tier athletes such as myself, Jack Hankowitz, Justin Scott, and John Harris, I mean, you're gonna draw a crowd, and with a disease such as this one spreading around, it's just not a good idea to have us perform.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, going into this knowing that I was going to go to St. Louis before the second practice and, have it pop up with 1,000 cases, I knew this was probably not going to end up happening. But
All right. So before the season happened, we all made a group chat and we all got hyped up. Going into the season, what were you most looking forward to about men's volleyball?
The camaraderie, the wins, the losses. I was just looking to have a good experience with my bros on the court. This was a new sport for me. I just kind of joined it on a whim, but I mean, after playing at Bennett Park on the sand and that one practice we had together, I felt like we're close, like we're brothers now. And it's sad that we're getting this opportunity taken away, especially for guys like you, Ben, and Trevor, where you won't be able to have this opportunity.
It's true. That kind of came out after being able to. This was the only spring sport I had left to play after not making the baseball team, which is not really a big deal. But I kind of just wanted to do it because I've had some experience with volleyball in the past. My mom played volleyball at Cali County Community College. Her and my dad played sand volleyball for I don't know how many years when I was young, and my sister plays volleyball, so I definitely had been around the sport a lot. It seemed interesting, and I really wanted to show up Jaden that we weren't going to lose every single game, and I was like, well, if you have me on the team, we're probably not going to lose all of them. We're going to win one. So I thought it was just going to be a good time to hang out with the boys and have some springtime fun to finish out the year.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm hearing of a men's volleyball group chat.
He was talking about the group game.
Oh,
Justin,
okay.
you have to be able to get it over the net to be in the group.
Ooh.
At least I could actually get it over the net, unlike Jaden.
What?
Got it over the net practically every time except for John and Jaden, who hit the net or missed the net.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh, mad.
So sadly, Zach isn't here right now. But our first practice, Zach and I kind of performed as team leaders, right?
Yeah, of course.
What were your thoughts on the stretches that we did?
I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of Coach Jones leaking into men's volleyball.
I kind of liked them. They kept us as a unit, I feel like, and it kind of hyped up the team a little bit. Got some, I
like to think of it as chaotic good.
Yeah.
To where there was a lot of stuff going on, but I mean, it was enough to keep everyone focused because they had to see what was next. So I liked it. Personally,
I like the idea of that system of stretches that Coach Jones had put together, and I liked implementing it in volleyball, but it seemed like it didn't have much of a direction since we kind of did it on a whim. So the stretches weren't planned out. Certain parts of my body felt like they went unstretched before we went out there. We hit the court, and it felt like we were excluding our, 2 Liberty players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is true.
I wish we could say something like Birds of War or something like that instead of War Eagle to kind of include them too, because while they might be from the enemy school and they might be the minority, they are still part of this team, War Eagle.
For sure. Now, going into the season, we all had this Google Doc where we had to see where every school people were coming from, and there were 2 Liberty kids, there was an HMS kid, and I think a Kearney kid. Going into the season, how do you think that was gonna mesh together?
No, I didn't think it would.
I thought it'd be fantastic.
I didn't really know that. It was men's volleyball team. I didn't really know the HMS kid would be a girl, but it's whatever.
Sam is not a girl.
Quality, I guess.
Sam is a boy.
It's men's volleyball.
Yeah, Sam was a dude.
Okay.
Well, initial thought that I had was, whenever we signed up for it, there were 25 people on the document who said they wanted to do it, and I did some math in my head, and I was like, well, there can only be 6 people on the court, so what are we going to do here? And so I instantly thought there was going to be an A team and a B team. But then we went to the first practice, and I was like, I don't know how we're going to make an A team out of these guys. So instantly I was just
right here. 2 words, Michael Schwalm.
I guess you could say that, but I thought it was going to be interesting how they were going to split up playing time such as that, but I guess we won't really have to worry about that now.
Yeah, I guess
the fun part about that was both JV and varsity teams would face the same teams. So the JV team would face a varsity team right after the varsity for that school faced that varsity. You see the same competition no matter what team you're on.
True. Yeah.
All right. So, what do you guys think about the first practice? We got our feet in the water a little bit. How do you think the season was going to play out if this whole Corona thing didn't happen?
I was very excited for one. I liked the team dynamic. We all seemed to kind of get along with each other. There was a lot of hype in the room, and I really enjoyed that mentality and that vibe. It was something I could get behind.
Going in, I felt like we probably weren't going to do well, but after the first practice, I definitely felt a lot more optimistic that, hey, we actually could probably do pretty good. It just sucks that it all got stuffed under a bus.
Yeah, I think for me, I was looking forward to the fun the most, and definitely after the first practice, the hype was real. There was a ton of fun. Skill level might have been basement tier, but other than that, we were doing great.
Yeah, you could tell after that first practice, there was not one guy in that room who did not want to be there. We made everybody feel included, and it was just a really fun environment to be in.
Yeah, especially after like going to that first little practice thing at Bennett Park. I saw that we maybe had some potential to be good. Then after that first practice, we like actually kind of put it together and like learned how to play. And so, I mean, we didn't look bad. So, especially for the first practice, so I could tell that was going to be a good time. And even if we didn't win as many games as anyone would think we would, I knew it'd still be a good time just being able to go around and play sport.
As long as Trevor wouldn't aim for my face in practices, I think we would have done pretty well.
Oh, I think that would have made it better. All the accuracy.
And then
You see, stuff like that happens in volleyball, and you just kind of gotta
Trevor
keep your heads up.
Yeah.
You got to roll with the punches.
Yeah.
Just
We all get hit, we all get knocked down, but you gotta get up, keep moving forward.
It's all about the climb, Trevor.
you're never gonna keep me down.
Yeah, never want to break my stride either.
I'm a little sad. I got to bust in my new knee pads for one practice and never got to use them again.
Yeah, that's why I didn't buy them. I was like, nope.
At least Jack got a pair of shorts out of this.
What?
Jack texted me telling me before practice that you went out to buy a pair of shorts and knee pads. So that gave me the impression that this kid doesn't own shorts.
I don't own a pair of black shorts. I had to buy a pair of black shorts because I don't normally wear it.
Hey, Weston just said hi. Oh, you should have had him in the group chat. What am I thinking?
Weston's wondering.
He's texting me nonstop
Dude,
about how to get in.
Send him the link. Send him the link. I want Weston to get in here.
Weston's the MVP, man.
I mean, I was playing some video games yesterday with Kanan. We're all in KNET together, and we realized that it was, or on Friday, we realized it was the telethon. We were like, you know, what could have been, and talking about how much fun we could have had. And it sucks that we're probably not going to get to have one this year. At least we were able to funnel $1,000 out of William Joel. Hopefully we don't have to give the money back, but
Yeah, that's gonna be another upcoming episode about the telethon. So maybe we'll hold that for another episode. But okay, so with the season, we saw our mock schedule, and a lot of these teams we're going up against had like a pre-established team. Did that like scare any of you guys?
I mean, honestly, the worst thing that could have happened is we could have turned into like another Scott Sterling video. I mean, someone just gets hit in the face really hard. I mean,
Fear is just the devil trying to get a hold of your heart, Trevor Larry.
Yeah. Did it scare me that these teams had good players? I mean, not really. I wasn't really in it for winning, so
I think we
got
all
beat
there
up a
to
little
have a
bit.
good time, for sure. We're all just having a good time. I think that was the biggest thing for, at least for me.
I figured we'd just be facing all the students that got rejected from all the other sports at their schools. So,
oh, Justin, there's some kids from some schools we heard about who were going D1. There was a kid from was Blue Springs South?
Yeah,
who knocked another kid's teeth out with volleyball.
They
Yeah,
go-
there was some tough competition that would have certainly cremated us on the court.
Yeah, it sounds like Justin wasn't listening to Coach Dowden on day one.
Oh,
I don't have a very long attention span. I'll be perfectly honest about that.
When it came to conditioning and the cardio we did, what were your thoughts on that?
Conditioning.
I
That
totally
was
It was
the lightest
extremely-
athletic practice ever.
Yeah, that was probably the lightest cardio I've ever think I've experienced out of a
I was
team environment.
talking about.
I realized how bad I am at running. I mean, 2 laps around there felt like nothing, but now that I actually did it, you know, and it's been a while since I've actually not run on a treadmill, I realized I'm not very good at this. At least running.
Yeah, our first practice was not very condition heavy because
We had to learn to play.
we're trying to learn. We're not trying to get ripped. I mean, most of us come from other sports, but there are people like Justin who this would have been their first high school sport, who haven't done conditioning like this before. So I feel like, Justin, would you say it was a good experience for you to dip your toes in the water with this?
I mean, the conditioning format that we did on the first practice was pretty much the same as what we did in the short period of time I was on the track team in 9th grade before I got kicked off because of my grades. But besides that, conditioning felt about the same to that.
I think if I've got to contextualize the conditioning, I've done soccer and tennis workouts. To me, that felt like a tennis rest day.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, Liberty North has certainly worked us hard.
For sure, guys. Now, with this season, there also is like side by side men in tights. Were any of you guys like registered for men in tights? I know Ben and I were.
Yeah,
I didn't know what men in tights was before that first practice.
What did you think men in tights was?
It sounds like an opportunity to clown around. That's not what I'm here for.
I actually played last year on a team, and a lot of the kids on my team had obviously never played before, so it was kind of boring. But after our first practice, I emailed Coach Dad, and I was like, hey, how are we getting into this? And she said, yeah, all I got to do is get a registration form. So we were putting together a team out of the people that had showed up to that first practice, and I thought we were actually going to do pretty good. So I was excited to look forward to it. Yeah, I did it last year with Sydney Jacqueline. She was our player coach, and it wasn't that bad of a time though.
I remember seeing advertisement from it last year, but besides that, I mean, mainly I just thought it was probably like men's gymnastics or like ballerina men's stuff. I don't know. Men in tights, that's very gymnastic.
Justin, you ever seen Robin Hood Men in Tights?
I've seen Robin Hood Men in Tights, yes.
Yeah, the last year's Men in Tights was not at all gymnastics. Trevor and I had a team last year. We played pretty much all the time in the summer, so we were pretty confident going into that. Unfortunately, we lost in the semifinals to the Kansas City Police Department.
Oh my God!
I lost them too.
We lost to a bunch of adults.
I mean, they were tall though, so I mean,
Weston!
They had two guys who were like 6'5", so it didn't even count.
I didn't realize adults could be in that.
They're not supposed to be, but we lost to the Kansas City Police Department.
The police, so what are you gonna
can't smack down on the police, and you can't trash talk the police. It's not going to work out well.
Had to play it easy.
Weston, are you homeless?
What?
His video feed looks like he's living out in the woods.
Weston, you have to hit the join with audio in the bottom left. I can see your microphone's off. So
this is a flawless production, Trevor. Thank you.
Hey, no problem, guys.
Oh, by the way, I dig the new middle part, Trev.
Oh, thanks, dude. I'm trying to change things up a little bit.
Oh, I'm gonna be changing things up very soon.
I heard you're shaving. Is that true?
Nor deny.
Buzz cut. When's that happening?
I have no idea.
Can you do it live on Trevantine?
No.
Why?
I can send you a video if I end up doing it.
When you end up doing it.
Whoa, hold on now.
All right, Weston, are you there, man?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, Weston, what are you going to miss most about the men's volleyball season that never was?
The correct answer is me.
To me, it was just like Michael and everyone's like, nah, this kid's garbage. I'm like, y'all are like everything, but not in volleyball. I'm actually like pretty darn good at volleyball.
Weston is fire. He's gassy. I'm not even kidding. He's really good at volleyball.
He's gassy.
I guess that doesn't make sense to call someone gas. Anyways, do you think the trash talk that happened during practice was a positive or negative thing?
I
think
definitely.
That's a positive. That drives so much competition.
yeah,
Huge.
it was good.
I love
There
you can get
was a
some-
lot of competition, but like I said, by the end of that practice, everybody was in a good mood and nobody looked defeated or anything like that. So it was a good sport. It's not like wrestling or football trash talk where kids go home and cry.
Yeah. If you can get in someone's head and just like mess them a little bit, it makes things that much fun.
I only cried once, so I call it a win.
Yeah, that's a win. Yeah.
I think the only trash talk I had directed my way was from Justin, and all it was him giving me kissy faces and stretch lines.
Justin likes to dish it out, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I do remember pretty specifically the phrase being shouted, "Justin Scott can't get it up, though."
Whoa, snap.
Ooh. Heyo.
Okay, moving on. So what was the hardest part of practice? What do you guys think? We talked about how conditioning wasn't hard.
I think learning how to re-hit the volleyball, because I mean, I'd learned how to like hit it with like my wrist, but that was wrong. So like learning how to hit it up on your forearms and like doing that kind of practice.
10 times more.
It was
learning how to be accurate by hitting it with your forearms, and like instead of moving your arms into the ball, you actually move your legs and your arms are stationary. That felt weird.
Yeah, and it kind of hurt, honestly. Not gonna lie. I was in pain after getting it off my form that many times.
It was difficult for me to remember to say mine every time you were hitting it, to call it out. That definitely was something I struggled with.
What were you guys' thoughts on the coaches? So we had Coach Dowden, we had Coach Franklin, and then we had like younger coaches that were like closer to our age. Well, what do you guys think about that dynamic?
I thought they'd be scary, but they were extremely nice. Yeah, they were really kind to us. They didn't get mad at me even when I made about 1,000 Corona jokes. And that was our first practice when I was making those jokes. That was the day everybody realized Corona was bad. So it was still fresh in everyone's minds, and they didn't get mad at me. So, I mean, power to them. So yeah.
I think it was like the day later they declared it a pandemic or something like that.
Yeah.
It was because they knew Michael started joking about it, and they were like, okay, we need to take this seriously now.
Yeah, it's like, okay, if Michael's going to make a joke about it, that means it's pretty mainstream by this point.
I thought it was pretty good.
Official source.
Like, I've had other coaches that are, I'd say, like, maybe soft in a way. Like, oh, we're not going to cut anyone, and you just end up like too many kids. And like Ben was saying, there was a lot of people on the team that they probably couldn't keep everyone on, at least on A team or B team. So, like, I could tell she was not gonna just like, oh yeah, everyone's gonna, like, she was gonna be down to the wire with it, who plays and stuff.
Yeah, she was gonna try and win.
Yeah, she was
gonna be hard on it, but not so hard that it broke anyone's spirits.
That's true. Yeah.
Just perfect level of hard, al dente. If you will.
Yes, she wasn't trying to like send anyone home crying.
No,
but she was out there trying to win. 100%.
I mean, that's why we play, right?
Did anyone here buy one of the volleyball shirts?
No.
I did.
I bought one.
I haven't picked it up yet, but I bought one. Like, I think my mom just automatically bought
I picked it up too. I picked one up.
I didn't pick one up or buy one. It seemed like she really wanted us to, but I felt since we weren't actually having our season, I shouldn't use my money.
I'm the same way. As a senior too, not playing next year, I don't know why I would need a t-shirt for a season I never had.
Well, I felt bad that they'd already made them and they were ready. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to do now?
Yeah.
So I did want to get it. And I mean, now it's just like a random shirt I can just wear to like go paint something or something like that. So I mean, it's a win-win.
Or you can flex your men's volleyball team.
So I'm fine with that.
We'll make it a nice crop top.
It would, yeah.
For sure. So like, Men in Tights is obviously like a fundraiser for women's volleyball. Did any of you guys actually go to women's volleyball games?
Couple of them.
I went to a couple.
I went to a Liberty versus Liberty North game my freshman year at Liberty, and that was it. Not one person in the student section watched the game. So I felt like it wasn't something I really needed to go to. And I haven't been to one since.
I mean, I like watching volleyball. I think it's a fun sport. It's competitive, and like, I like the part or the aspect of it where the momentum can literally shift in like in one serve. Like if you're down by so many points and you get like a little bit of a rally going, like you're right back in it. You're never really out of the game. So I thought that was always fun, being able to see people that I knew. And it was especially fun because a lot of the girls in the junior class are actually really good. So you could see them playing varsity even as freshmen, like Rachel Spainauer, Grace Reinecke, Sydney Jacquin, Olivia Zimmerman were all on varsity as freshmen. So you not only went to the game to watch, but you could see like, hey, I actually know who that is. She's in my biology class, something like that. So I thought that aspect was kind of fun.
Yeah, I wish I watched the sport more throughout high school, because after playing it, I've gained a big respect for the sport, and it's something I have actual interest in, and I wish I had given it a chance in the past.
For sure. Now, I guess this will really be my last question for all you guys. Over under, how do you think our team would have done? Say we played 20 games.
I think we probably would have broke even.
I think we would have been above 500. Our varsity would have been above 500.
That sounds about right.
I think we would have taken some big blows, especially in the beginning. But honestly, I feel like we have enough raw athletic talent that we could push it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think at first, it just would have been figuring out how to play. And then the big point, like communicating, because that sport's all about communication, like just knowing who's going to hit it where. So once you get that aspect down, having a group of guys that really have like know how to do it, know how to communicate, and on top of that are athletic and are able to do it, it's just a recipe that many other teams aren't going to get, because the amount of people that we had is gonna override their schools, because they're probably gonna have smaller programs. So if push comes to shove, gets a little tired, long match, you can get in some fresh bodies and they'll be able to take away some wins. I think we would have done pretty good.
I think for me, seeing the two kids on our team who did play club volleyball, I think over under 2 games, maybe we win 7 in a season.
Ouch.
Like just being real with it, 7, maybe 5.
With that attitude, yes.
Hey, I was there for fun. I wasn't gonna let it get me down, but looking at it realistically, I could see maybe 5 to 7.
I can see where you're coming from on that.
I actually have 2 more questions. One's directed to Justin. Justin, did you change your Zoom name to Lakeisha Sockman Hodu?
And you're just gonna call him out live on air?
I am. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. And then I guess my last question to wrap up the Zoom call. You guys have any other things to say about the coronavirus or men's volleyball?
We're all gonna die.
Oh.
Oh, Justin,
Okay.
no, you can't say.
One thing I'd like to point out is I like to watch sand volleyball in the Olympics. I think it's really underrated sport to watch in the Summer Olympics. Men's and the women's games are really, I think they're fun to watch. So I was looking forward to that in the summer in Tokyo, but I guess they're not going to do that anymore. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
I mean, I took one for the team and went to St. Louis, and then now I'm really regretting it because I'm bored. So,
I guess for me, I have one final message for the coaches and for all of my future opponents in next year's volleyball season. I will be training, and I will come for you. I will win. I will always come out on top. That doesn't necessarily mean my team will always win, but I, personally, I'm coming for you.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
I got bruises on my arms and knees. I got bruises on my arms from training. And I am prepared
Just
to win.
clear your head, Michael.
All right.
Can I ask one final question before we cut this all off?
Is it appropriate?
Yeah. Oh, yes, entirely.
Okay.
Justin, how much did your Bob Ross painting cost?
I didn't paint that.
Well, Bob Ross did. That's why I'm asking how much it cost.
No. My dad's girlfriend's dad painted that.
Yeah, Bob Ross doesn't sell his paintings, or he doesn't let his estate, or he didn't let his
to a hippie museum.
Wait, your dad's girlfriend's
No,
dad.
Bob Ross does.
Wait, what did you say? Did you say your girlfriend's dad? What? Your dad's girlfriend's dad?
Dad's girlfriend's dad, Jack. Come on.
Your dad's girlfriend's dad is Bob Ross.
No.
No, his dad's girlfriend's dad
That
is
is a
his
fantastic
step-grandpa.
to end this on. Thank you,
I was-
Trevor.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on. For all the Canet kids, we'll have to talk about the telethon coming up soon.
Good deal.
That would have been yesterday or 2 days ago, right?
It was yesterday, yeah. Or it would have been the 3rd.
April
Very
3rd, yeah.
sad. Well, we'll have you guys on another day, and you can cry live on camera if you want.
Pour one out for the
course.
telephone.
But yeah, I'm gonna cut this off. Thanks for coming on today, guys. I'll catch y'all later. And that was the quirky, wonderful men's volleyball team. Always a blast talking to them. They always have interesting stuff to talk about regarding, life and whatever. I know Michael Schwam, definitely, he's a character to watch out for. But yeah, that about covers today's How Corona is Affecting Me segment. Now we can get on to the headlines. It's coming to you from the New York Times coronavirus outbreak, where the first headline we have is, "Will Americans follow guidance to wear masks? Trump says he won't. The president's not doing it. Why should we do it?" That's the question that everyone else is asking. If you guys don't know, the CDC recently published a recommendation that everyone starts wearing masks, especially when they go to the grocery store. And yesterday I went to the grocery store to pick up like fruits and stuff, and holy cow, everyone was wearing a mask. And this was before the ordinance was like sent out where we were recommended to wear masks. But still, that's like crazy to think that just like out of nowhere, they're telling us to wear masks now. I mean, it's not like ridiculous to think that we need to, but I don't know. It just came out of, I don't want to say came out of the blue, because definitely a lot's been like leading up to this, but it was just strange to see it put into action, and I don't know. It was just odd. It felt like it was from a movie, like everyone's wearing masks and gloves, refusing to talk to other people. It was just a very surreal experience. The next headline we have is Governor Andrew Cuomo forecasts New York City's crisis peaking within about a week. That's good stuff to hear. But then again, a month ago we were scheduled to have a peak in the coronavirus, and I think a lot of these people are going to keep posting information about this like that to keep the motives high, keep everyone wanting to just keep on trucking through, like give a beacon of hope for everyone. Next one is the CDC is beginning to test antibiotics that would show previous corona infections. Antibodies. Test antibodies that would show previous corona infections. Interesting. Next one is almost 40,000 people have traveled directly from China to the United States since Trump imposed travel restrictions. Apparently, those travel restrictions aren't working very well. An outbreak at the cancer hospital shocks Egypt as the global caseload rises past 1.1 million people. That's a lot of people that have corona. And I remember when corona first started coming out, everyone was like, "Oh, it's nothing to worry about. It kills less people than the flu does." Well, now we have 1.1 million cases across the world. And it's kind of, I don't want to say it's expected that it keeps on going on, but for what seems to be now, it feels like it's just going to keep going up. Cases are going to keep rising, and we just gotta do our best to slow down that rise, that spread. Next headline we have is a provocative idea in Italy: blood tests to decide who goes back to work. So like we said, I read a headline yesterday saying that there will be they're like trying to make these passport cards in Europe to people that have had corona, and now they have the antibodies for the corona strain that's going around now. So what would happen is these people could return back to work, which would be great because that means the global economy could start rising. But it goes back to that thing where if they're going to work and they can't catch it, but they can still spread it, people from their family are going to get it. People from the grocery store going to get it, and it's just going to keep going around, man. And I don't know. This is a very tough situation, and I'm glad I'm not in the shoes of those politicians. But I think what we're doing now to stay home is probably the best thing. I know it was either yesterday or 2 days ago, Missouri was ordered from the governor it was an entire shelter in place. Like, we can still go on our runs. Basically what we've been doing in Liberty for the last 2 weeks. But now it's all counties in Missouri, so that's getting like for real in Missouri now. And the next headline we have is an unusual vaccine is ready for human trials, scientists say. Let me click on that. I mean, that's going to be more clickbait like it always has been. But it says an experimental vaccine is ready to be put test in humans as soon as the Food and Drug Administration grants permission. This is from the Pittsburgh Medical Center, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. And it says, oh, my Zoom meeting just ended. It said mice were given the vaccine produced high levels of antibodies against the new coronavirus. Another vaccine is already in clinical trial, started March 15th. And oh wow. I think we're getting closer and closer to trying to solve this crisis we're having. So I think if we can keep going on with what we're doing, and then flattening that curve, getting less people to get corona, and then we can just find vaccines as the time goes on, I think we'll finally get there eventually. And yeah, that's all the headlines I have for today. Now we talk about what I'm doing today. So this morning I woke up about 9:44. Super late, super late for me. I think tomorrow I'm gonna go to bed, or tonight I'm gonna go to bed early. I mean, it's 4 o'clock now, and I'm not even tired. I'll probably go to bed early. I say that every night, and I just don't go to bed. Wake up early and then just chill. But I woke up. My dad made breakfast this morning. Then I went downstairs. I started watching Tiger King. I got through the first 2 episodes, and then I was playing Animal Crossing while I was doing that. And then that was interesting show. The way the journalistic how do I say it, progression, or the way that the information is presented, both people are kind of bad. The Carol Baskin's character and all the Animal Kings, Joe Exotic, all those dudes, Doc. But the problem is with that is I feel like they're kind of swaying you to think one way and to think that certain people are worse than others, because everyone has a side of their story, and I guess that's why the documentary is going through. I'm only on the 2nd episode, but these are just my thoughts right now. When you end episode 2 with Carol Baskins might have killed and fed her husband to tigers, you're kind of persuading people into thinking this. That's just my thoughts, and I mean, we're all kind of biased. There's like no way to get around that, but it's intriguing to see something like that and how the progressions move on. But after that, it was about noonish or so, I went on a 3.83 mile run with a time of like 40 minutes or so. So I averaged about like 11-minute, 10-minute mile. First 2 miles are always the fastest, and I just get gassed on those last 2, or last 1.8, whatever. And I did that. Yesterday we had a workout posted from our football coach, and I was going to do it yesterday, but it was really cold, so I was like, I'll make Sunday my workout day, and I'll rest yesterday. So now I just pushed all my workouts later, so I did that core workout. I dominated that. Then I went upstairs, made me a protein smoothie, then I made lunch. I had brats and a burger. Healthy stuff there, and then I had some chips with that, and then I got all the gang together to make this podcast. But after this, I'm going to go mop the floors, play some Minecraft maybe, and just keep relaxing, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. Can't be shooting some b-ball outside of school though, but yeah, that's about it for my day. Not very exciting, just another day. We got a bunch of new KNET assignments. KNET is our daily broadcast. And we're going to start doing daily shows where each person will record their morning with a little bit of news and information, and then explain like what they're doing in their day. So basically what I'm doing, but like a shorter format and a more manageable format for everyone else. So we're gonna do that, and then there's something else. A lot of new guests coming on. I think tomorrow I'm not going to do Trevantine. I'm going to stop doing them on Sundays, even though I've only done them on like one Sunday. Definitely going to start resting on Sundays, and then just getting back to it on Monday. So yeah, that was today's episode of Trevantine. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys got an insight on what that men's volleyball team would have been like. Bunch of goofy goobers, a lot of people, and a lot of big personalities on that team. But yeah, this is the way it's going to be for a while. Keep washing your hands, and till then, I'll catch you guys on Monday.